bottles filled with water to observe ripples, helping him identify the movements of the sappers below, upon which either stink gas or Greek fire was funneled into an opening in the ground. By the third week of May, both sides had been exhausted after more than 50 days since the start of the siege. On the defenders' side, only half of the original strength of the city's garrison remained, while there was still no sign of the promised reinforcements from the west. In reality, a fleet from Venice had been on its way to reinforce the capital, but constant delays had forced it to only reach the Aegean by the end of May. To make matters worse, the citizens of Constantinople woke up on May 28th to thick fog and illuminating flaming lights coming off the dome of the Great Hagia Sophia Church, which was interpreted as the Virgin Mary abandoning the city and its defenders. Meanwhile, the mood on the attacker's side was even worse. The multiple failed frontal assaults of the last few weeks had severely demoralized the Ottoman army, with some beginning to believe the Roman capital was unconquerable. Supplying the Grand Turkish host with daily amounts of food and water for over 50 days had also begun to strain Ottoman logistics and funds, even though the entire Sultanate's resources were concentrated on the siege. With tensions already heightened, another offer of surrender was rejected by the emperor on May 26th, leading Mehmed to call for a war council. During the meeting, the Grand Vizier once again pushed for lifting the siege, as fears of a Hungarian invasion rose when an emissary from Buda arrived at the Sultan's tent the previous week and openly threatened war if the siege was not lifted. However, following a series of motivating speeches by Zaganos Pasha and Sheikh Akshamsaddin, the Sultan decided to launch one final grand assault on the Roman capital. Either he would conquer Constantinople or he would see his army crumble in front of its walls. On May 27th, the Theodosian walls were again bombarded in full force, while final inspections were carried out by Mehmed himself, culminating in him giving a final motivating speech to his troops. Likewise, the defenders also prepared for the upcoming assault by repairing their defenses on the land walls, holding a mass in the Hagia Sophia, and parading religious icons throughout the streets of the capital. The Romans and their allies had overcome more than 50